So now I have 2 weeks where 3 weeks before the trial. So I'm like, what do I do? If I just stay in Spain, I don't really have anything to do. At the time, I made a connection with Talento Today earlier in that year.
Yeah.
They were hosting an event in Germany, and they invited me to come out. They said, look, we'll pay for your flights, come out, and I wanted to, maximize the time. I couldn't play football.
Yeah.
I knew I had to do the rehab. I could do it in Spain or I could do it in Germany.
Yeah.
Decided to take the trip to Germany and also grow my network, make connections. And that's where we met. And that's where we connected, right?
I came from Bahrain to Frankfurt.
Right.
And we all met at Frankfurt.
And I remember we met at Frankfurt. So we went from Frankfurt to Cologne, and we met at Frankfurt. We were going to take the train together. And this guy's at the train station early, a few hours early. I'm like, okay, Dan, we're going to get there half an hour before. We hope, because it was me and Mustafa. Mustafa didn't get selected. So I'm helping this guy get an opportunity in Germany so that he can keep pursuing his dream. And Mustafa and I, we show up, we zip it to the train. We make it 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Daniel, where you at? And he's like, I think I'm at the right platform. Are you guys here? I'm like, yo, you sure? Does yours say whatever it said? And you're like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, yo, I think you're at the wrong one. This guy's been at the train station for hours. So I'm like, yo, come, the train's about to leave. Next thing you know, this guy was rushing down. And I'm like, the train's about to leave. Nobody else is getting on. And I'm looking outside the door. I'm trying to hold it open. I'm looking left, right. I'm trying to find Daniel. Next thing you know, off in the distance, I see this short guy with his two big suitcases running in. I'm like, yo, hurry up. And then you got on the other end of the train, I think, because it was just about to leave.
Yeah, and walked all over.
And you made it just in time.
Dude, first time in Germany, I didn't know how to read anything in German. It was so confusing. And I legitimately believed I was at the right one. Because lady said, yeah, it's here. And I was like, great. And as he told me, bro, it's actually here, I decided to think it might be smart to grab a coffee. And I grab a coffee and I'm starting to run. I'm like, shit, this isn't a good idea. And that's why I almost made it.
Yeah. So then we take that train to
to
Cologne. Then we realized we missed our suitcases. We were supposed to pick them up in Frankfurt. Mustafa puts his ticket into the slot.
We need Mustafa on here.
We need him. That's gonna be
funniest
a story
moments,
in itself.
The funniest moments of my
I have that. Yeah. I have that moment just playing over and over again in my mind. Long story short, this guy, he puts his baggage receipt into the slot. So he puts in the slot, and the idea was that I guess he thought
keep in mind we're in Cologne now. We're not in Frankfurt anymore. We're an hour away.
Even more, I think.
Yeah.
And there was this little compartment, and I think the idea he had maybe was you put the ticket in, and I think you kind of convinced him, to be honest. And the suitcase would randomly travel from Frankfurt underground and pop up in this compartment, and the doors would open.
Some Harry Potter shit, yeah.
And he puts the ticket in, and and the moment he put it in, his face.
We both knew he fucked up, and we were just watching
because that ticket was confirmation of his suitcase, right?
Suitcase, yeah.
So anyways, there's so many of those stories that we can get into, but of course this is more of a recap. So let's fast forward a bit. So Germany, we have 2-3 weeks there where it's mainly I'm for football side of things, I'm doing my rehab, right? I'm trying to get the knee prepared to enter my trial with Rayo Vallecano B team. And we're doing connections in Germany, growing our network, we're filming content.
You discovered knees over toes for the first time.
Right, discovered knees over toes, which actually was a huge help to healing my patellar tendonitis. Yeah. I started doing knees over toes. I started training my tibialis anterior, and that was really helpful to then getting rid of the pain in the coming weeks. But pretty much a week before the trial, so this is a week into August, I'm just now starting to jog. And it's still not 100%. I haven't touched the ball since the showcase. We get to Madrid a few days before. Mustafa decides to go elsewhere, and yeah, so we go to Madrid, and I remember I didn't touch a ball at all. We went to the gym one time, and I was so nervous because I'm like, yo, I'm about to step into an environment with players who have been part of a La Liga academy since they were young. And when I was young, I didn't play football. I wasn't in a competitive environment. And I'm going in there with an injury. I'm going in there not being fit. I'm going in there not having played a 90-minute game in like, who knows, like a year and a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
Everything's that.
And I have like thousands of people watching me
Yeah.
and expecting me to perform on social media because I'm putting my journey out there. So I had a lot of pressure, that caused a lot of nervousness. And I remember, so August 16th comes, and look, I think this story we can talk about for an hour, but we actually have a YouTube video that summarizes this whole experience. That
What's
is
it called?
called
The Rayo Vallecano trial.
the Rayo Vallecano II trial.
Yeah.
So if you go on the YouTube channel and you go back to August of 2021, so last year, you can watch that whole video and you'll get the whole story. But long story short, go there. They don't know who I am. Go there day one, actually. There's no training. Go there day two. They don't know who I am. Go there day three. Now I talk to the organizer. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, hold on, we'll talk to the club. Okay, day three, they're going to let you train. Go there day three. They don't know who I am. They're telling me to go train with the C team, which is like one of those international academy things where they're just trying to make money. And I'm like, I'm not training with the C team. I'm not here to train with the C team. So I'm about to leave. Organizer talks a bit more, and finally I get that one training session. And this whole thing was supposed to be, they came to scout me, and I was going to have an opportunity to showcase myself, and they wanted me. That's the perception, right? But when I got there, it was like, they didn't know who I was. They didn't even want me there. Like, who is this guy? Oh, we signed a deal behind the scenes. Now we have to let him train just to say we gave him a shot. So I just got a really bad vibe. And regardless, I'm like, I'm here. Let's focus on the positives.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm on the field with this official second team of Rayo Vallecano. The first team plays in La Liga with Real Madrid, with Barcelona. These players are very skillful.
Yeah.
The coach is there watching me for the training session. He probably doesn't know who I am. He probably, in his mind, is like, he'll come for this session, probably only put him in one drill, and he's gone. But let me try and make the most of this. I go in, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I walk in there, they've got a big complex, and I'm like, I always have the nerves, right? But that day, it was to a level where, you get the butterflies. I couldn't eat in the morning, and I'm like,
that whole week,
I gotta show up.
Yeah.
You remember how quiet I was rolling up to those sessions?
Nighttime, more confidence. In the morning, quiet. You wouldn't say a word.
I wouldn't say a word. And the thing is, I'm aware of it, and I'm trying to get myself to, I'm like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, wake up, be confident. And I couldn't. That's how much it affected me.
Yeah.
So anyways, I go there, I do the training session, and we do a couple of drills, and I fit right in. Didn't play like Messi, didn't play bad. I just fit right in. We did rondos, we did a possession drill, we did one where you cross in the ball, and the session finishes, and the coach comes up to me, and there was also another player who also was on trial, but he tells me, come back tomorrow. So I'm like, wow, okay. So I go back tomorrow, I train with him again. And this time I'm like, I have to take matters into my own hands. So I decide to go to a print shop in Madrid. New to Madrid, don't know anything about Madrid. I go to this print shop that I couldn't find because it was on the 4th floor or something.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I decide to print out my CV. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, look, you gotta be uncommon. You gotta stand out. So I'm like, how can I stand out? Let me go print my CV. I have a nice CV. I make it on Canva. I print it out. 3 copies just in case. Back pocket of my jacket. I go there, perform again. And this is giving me confidence. I'm like, thank God my knee didn't hurt. It was literally just at that stage where it was getting better. I was not fully fit. And I hadn't touched the ball in so long, and I'm playing well.
Yeah.
It just mentally, I think I just turned on. And after the session, I go to the coach and, give him the CV, and I had to boost myself a bit. So I boosted myself, I'm not going to lie. I said some things, and he was like, look, you're doing good on the field. I like that you're taking the initiative, like you're showing me the CV, Come out for 2-3 more sessions, but I'm telling you now, you're 98, and this team is meant for 99 and younger. We only have 3 or 5 slots, something like that, for 98. And basically, there's a certain cutoff, right? And they already had 23 signed on the team. So they weren't looking for anybody new. The season was starting in 2 weeks. So this whole thing, like this opportunity was...
It was fake. It wasn't really an opportunity.
It wasn't an opportunity, right? And the most difficult part about this was having to share it with the 200,000 followers at the time who were so tuned into my journey. And I had to tell them, I'm like, it wasn't an opportunity.
No.
But I think I went there and I turned it into an opportunity. So anyways, I go there, I train for another week, on and off, because they had a league game some days where I wasn't there. But it comes to the point where eventually they're like, okay, we're not going to sign you. We're not going to offer you a contract. Yeah. So that opportunity out the window. Now I'm in Spain, Madrid. This is the end of August. I don't have anything. The seasons are about to start. La Liga already started. If you go down the divisions, the lower you go, it starts like a week later, then 2 weeks later. Tercera was starting like the beginning of September. Those teams are already full. Now I'm like, what do I do? There's a league under, Preferente, 6th division of Spanish football. They were starting, I think, the second week of September. And I'm like, yo, I'm already in Spain. I have so many people who believed in me, who supported the journey. Yeah. I have to go out there and try and make something happen.
So it's like late August now, and now you have about a week and a half to find a team.
Until that season starts in the 6th division.
Yeah. I remember being there, and I had made that decision, and I told you, yo, listen, I'm here to stay. Like, I love this place. I love what I'm doing. I'm here to stay. So our thing was, okay, we got to find accommodation, a place to live. Mm-hmm. And your thing was, I got to find a team, man. And man, that period of finding a team was rough. If you want to share some experiences there.
Well, what did I do? Because you were living with me. We were going Airbnb to Airbnb. Yeah. What was I doing to try and find a team?
So we got to one of the worst Airbnbs that we lived in there in La Paz. It's the ghetto of Madrid, and pretty much this guy would reach out, Instagram DMs, WhatsApp calls, literally everything. No one speaks English, just consistent DMs, messages here, and every now and then he would get one response back, and it's I remember the specific one. The guy was like, yo, come in.
Yeah.
You were excited. This was a good opportunity. The team had a decent rep.
Yeah.
But they were kind of far out in Madrid, but they had a decent rep. And you were like, yo, he told me, Daniel, I think this is it. Mm-hmm. The guy's interested in me.
Yeah.
He likes my experience. He likes my highlight video. I'm going to go out there. I have to go far. It's across the whole city. But I'm going to get there and I'm going to perform. He wants to play me. And I was like, bro, this is it. This is going to be the team. You leave. And I'm just there at home. And I just got a message back saying, what did you tell me? I think you just told me...
It would be interesting to pop open that message. But it was something along the lines of... I think I told you that I didn't play.
Yeah.
Right? Because what happened was...
Play a single minute.
I didn't play a single minute. And I'm going across the city, never been to that area. And this coach is messaging me, he's really excited to watch me play, and they're looking for one last player, and I'm like, this is it. And just previous to that, you were there. You remember all the phone calls that I would make? and I'm using Google Translate to try and talk in Spanish, and I'm DMing and sending emails, and nothing's working out. And then this one thing comes up, and I go there. I'm like, this is it. And he doesn't play me.
Yeah.
So I take the metro back, and I remember I'm just on the metro, and I'm just like, just looking like, just outside.
Yeah.
Just as I was going from station to station, and then I see, okay, lava pies, and get off, and it's kind of a ghetto area, so it's just in a bad mood. So I'm AirPods in, I'm playing some sad music, I'm making my way towards the Airbnb, and I'm going down this like alleyway.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, like, there's these how do you even describe it?
Like those ghetto, like, gang member type
gang
kids.
members,
African,
like,
right? Yeah.
off to the side, like smoking weed, like, sketchy bags, and I'm walking. I'm like, damn, it's kind of late. Like, okay, just keep walking. Like, just get to the place, and I'm just walking, and next thing you know, in my peripheral vision, this guy's following me. I'm like, damn, like, I'm not trying to start something right now, because, like, if I react to this, he's got all his other guys. Like, what's he trying to do? I'm picking up the pace a bit. He's picking up the pace, and now he's reaching at me, and like, he's reaching for my ear. So it looks like he was trying to take my AirPods. So I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Right? And like, now I'm turning. I'm like, and this guy was like high, like, he was on something. Like, he was off. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we're going a little bit back and forth, like a little bit of a shove. People are there. They're starting to look. I'm like, damn, like, if I do anything, if this escalates, I'm done. So I decide to turn and pick up the pace even more. And I'm like, yo, back away, police. Pull out the phone. It worked. It could have gone...
His homies were there too.
Yeah. It could have gone a lot of ways, but it kind of worked. He backed off, then I walked a little bit more, keeps coming. I saw like two guys like kind of reacting to it.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was like a block away, I think, from the Airbnb.
Bro, you were 5 minutes away and you decided not to text me. I would have came down, bro.
Bro, what do you mean? If I texted you, it's over. It's over, like, by the time you come.
Bro, you best believe I'm coming down with something, bro. I'm ready to fight.
Imagine you come with a knife, like...
Bro, I'm good with a knife,
with your boxing. So anyways, he tries approaching again. This time, I like turn around. Another kind of like a pushback.
Yeah.
I taunt him with the whole police thing, and like finally, that was like his thing to like kind of back off.
Yeah.
But it was just like, that day was just... Man, it was just... Everything went wrong. You know, and I'm coming home, and... there's that clip of you recorded me. I'm just like on the ground, like this. Like, I didn't know what to do, because the season was starting in like a week, and the next day happens, and like, I'm making more connections, and now I'm like, I have this new idea. Let me go on every single team and try and find an American player, somebody Canadian or American player, somebody who speaks English. I went on Transfermarkt. I'm looking up all the teams. And I find this guy. His name is Calvin. And I search him up.
Goalkeeper?
No. He's a player. He actually played with Matt Sheldon. He knew Matt Sheldon. He played with Tulsa. And I messaged him. And I found his Instagram. I DM him. And he happens to get back to me. And we go for a coffee. I initiated. And that coffee meeting led to him connecting me with a coach who I then went to the team's training with. I thought at the time was Pariso, because that's what I was told, and I go trial with them, and he likes what how I played, and he's like, we want to sign you on that first day. And I'm like, wow. I'm not gonna lie, it was a low level environment, like no kits, bad ground, like carpet, not a good setup. 6th division, right? But last minute. But like, coach was nice.
Yeah.
He had previously coached at Real Madrid, I think, in the youth academies, and he had coached at Rayo Vallecano II, I think women's team or something like that. The team itself, Spanish, very like close-minded in a way.
Yeah.
I then went on to make some friends, but at the start it was difficult, and I'm like, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
So I trained there for the week, and we made it official. You're gonna sign. He told me, I see you as a starting winger on our team, and I'm like, great, you know, 6th division of Spain. This is gonna be a platform I can use to play games and showcase myself and move up.
Really build up.
Really build up. And when I made that commitment to, you know, play with that team, that's also when we decided to make the commitment to stay in Spain, right? And then we had that whole process of trying to find accommodation, trying to find somewhere to stay. So behind the scenes, we're making phone calls to like all of these real estate places and all of these people trying to find a place, which was a grind.
It was like, when we say grind, it was literally like morning to night.
Yeah.
Consistently on the laptop, on the phones, calling, doing things like getting around to Madrid wasn't easy. You know, it took time. So we were like doing everything to like make anything work.
Yeah.
Everything's being shut down. The prices are way too high.
Yeah.
Things are just not going well. And I remember it was like literally like the end of August. I think we had dropped down like a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
In just Airbnbs.
Right.
You know, for like 3 weeks.
And I think after going through 100 contacts, I got it on the phone. I find this guy called Albert.
My dude, Albert.
And Albert,
do a voice impression, please.
you do it better. You do it better.
No. I honestly forget.
What was the thing he said? He's like, "It's okay." Was it? Or
if you want to come, you come. If you don't want to come, you don't come.
That's the one. That's the one right there. So this guy offers to pick us up to go look at his place.
Yeah.
And we're like, yes. And we go.
We're feeling this guy too.
And I remember we show up to Retiro Park in Madrid, and we're like at this gate, and he's at the gate on the other side, and we don't find him, and we're like, yo, like we gotta find a place. September's. This was like September, sometime in September, and we really needed to find a place because our Airbnb was running out. And I remember we like couldn't find the guy. We eventually found him. He took us to the place, and we're like, wow. It was a house. It was like a 1-floor house, disconnected, for 1,100 euros.
2-bedroom,
a month.
whole kitchen,
2-bedroom,
patio area,
living
room.
You have this ceiling area. I'm like, we hit the jackpot.
Literally, yeah.
Because Madrid's an expensive place to live.
Yeah.
So imagine you want like a place to yourself.
Yeah.
That nice. We hit the jackpot. And so we're like we signed the papers. There was like some contracts that we needed to like, you know, figure out.
But that place was like, it was nice, like very nice. Like,
it was nice.
I enjoyed.
Yeah. And so I signed with the team. We're staying there. And I found out the club's telling me you need to wait for your player license to come to be able to play. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on.
Season
Season is starting. I'm not eligible to play. I need to wait for the player license. So, and that went on for a couple of weeks. So as this goes on, you know, when you're part of that team environment but you can't play, obviously the coach is going to start prioritizing the players who can actually play. So now whenever we're doing like tactical stuff or we're doing anything where you have the focus of the starting 11, I'm not there because I can't be eligible to play.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks went on where you start getting left out as somebody who just can't play yet. And at the same time, it was a difficult environment to be in. Like, they're all Spanish players. I'm the only foreigner. And at the beginning, nobody took initiative to, like, welcome me. So I'm there. And it was difficult, right? But after a couple weeks, by the way, we were grinding. We were, you know, just to provide some context on the financial situation of, like, the journey to pro. So obviously, to make these things happen, like, I've needed to work a lot in the past to save up money, so to have savings, to be able to invest into traveling, into going for trials. And also at the same time, you need to have some type of income coming in. Yeah. So I remember what we had to do is we have skills in media marketing and creating content. Yeah. So we had to like go and find clients and we did a bunch of client work behind the scenes.
Dude, that was like the big grind. Like one, finding a team, getting that player license, and then also like finding clients, making sure we have money. And I remember at the end of each month, we were always like, shit, are we gonna have enough money?
Yeah.
We gotta do something to like make the last bit of rent.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of each month, there was a struggle.
It was a grind.
Yeah.
It was a grind. Like, we went all in. And so moving into October was when, as that month progressed, eventually my player license comes in. Now he's starting to integrate me as a sub player, obviously slowly getting into the team. And I felt it was moving slower than I would have liked.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't get as many minutes as I deserved. And, that went on. Then we have November coming up. I just also want to provide some context on like something that really changed our lives is so that connection with Talento today, I found out about this event called World Football Summit, which was our getting into the whole business scene. That event happened in September in Madrid.
Yeah.
Which after grinding like crazy again, because the tickets were expensive.
Yeah.
I was able to find the right contact at the company and I was able to get us tickets to go in and we covered that whole event. But that whole business side of things and the event scene, which is a huge passion of ours,
For both of us, yeah.
became a big part of the journey too.
Yeah.
And so as we're doing football and client work, we're also building this whole thing up.
Yeah.
So in October, we went to Barcelona. We did that event. In November, we had Web Summit.
Yeah.
And this is like insane. But yeah, so November, we have Web Summit, which again can be its own podcast, what happened there and the behind the scenes of that. And November comes around and now I'm, slowly integrating more. I get my first start. We win the game. Then I remember the next game, I thought, okay, we won the game. I got my start. Okay performance, but we won. So, let's continue the momentum. And the next game, I think I got subbed back on. And then the game after, there was a game where we played top of the table. And I remember I was on the sideline and the game was 0-0. And I'm just like, just give me my moment. I'm doing well in training, like give me my moment. And just 60 minutes in, he called me to go warm up. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting half an hour this game. Mm-hmm. And 70th minute, 80th minute, 90th minute, full time whistle. And I'm just on the sideline. I'm like, yo, I'm in Madrid, Spain. I traveled all the way to come here. I'm playing in the 6th division. Which, by the way, technically the players still at a very high level. We had players who played for Rayo Vallecano Youth Academy, Leganés Youth Academy, some other top youth academies. Physically, they didn't take it as serious because that professionalism really starts in the top 4-5 divisions in Spain, but technically still very good. So I'm like, yo, I came here to play. I didn't come here to not play. And it was just a time in the journey where I'm like, I don't know if this environment is right to stay in for me to be able to sign a pro contract.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was also doing the whole 365 days and I'm like, if I'm not getting playing time in the 6th division of Spain, what's this going to lead to?
Yeah.
So I remember at the end of November, we had a bye week.
Yeah.
Where I did a bunch of research and I found this opportunity in Abu Dhabi, VidCon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, VidCon is happening on the bye week.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an expense to book my flight to go out there, book the hotel. But I feel like if I make this commitment, it's going to lead to something big. I just felt it, like something internally.
Yeah.
And I made the commitment. And I went to Abu Dhabi. And you weren't able to go.
Yeah, because of visa issues.
And to be honest, financial issues.
Yeah.
But I go and those 3 days, those 4 days, learned so much, opened up my mind so much, met so many amazing content creators. And also then the last 3 days I had there, I went to Dubai, and I made a connection with somebody who works with Iker Casillas actually, and he had a connection to a club called Forsan Hispania, and Mitchell Salgado is the owner of this club, and I go there and I have a trial with them, and it was such a welcoming environment. The players were multicultural. One of the guys played for FC Paris. One of them played in Morocco First Division. So solid players, Third Division France. And I go there, I train with them. It's a solid level. They played in the UAE Second Division that season, right?
Yeah.
And this is December of 2021,
Yeah.
only a couple months ago. And I go there, I train with them, and the coach says, look, I like what I saw today, but I want to see you for a week, and I want to see you in a game too before I make my decision. So I told him, look, I already have my return back to Madrid. There's still a league game I need to play, but I would love to leave the door open to potentially come in January.
Yeah.
And that's when I opened up my mind to this could be a much better opportunity to setting myself up for professional football. And then also I saw opportunity in the social media side of things, which is another passion of mine.
Yeah.
So I go back and I tell you all about it.
Yeah.
And we're super excited. We're like, yo, this could be the next move.
I was excited for Dubai. I wanted to go there.
Right. So then we have this phase where there's a bunch of conflict of us needing to end our accommodation contract, which...
Well, one, before that, you had to finish school.
Oh, God.
Bro,
yeah.
Like, we were grinding like crazy, but, like, you were grinding on school. Like,
Yeah.
you got back, and I remember you go, like, yo. So I haven't studied for any of my exams and assignments, but they're all due this week.
Yeah.
Everything. And I'm really prepared. So... I gotta pretty much spend like the next week doing all this, and honestly, I don't know if this is gonna work out. And you were just stuck in the room for like a whole week, 2 weeks almost, just like studying exams, this, that. Meanwhile, like, you know, I'm doing like media work, you know, doing videos and all that.
I just to like get the timeline straight. I go to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Then I have a couple days in Dubai. I came back.
Yeah.
My next exam was actually 2 days after.
Yeah.
So I didn't have 2 weeks of studying. I had 48 hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
right, of studying. And when I went for the trip, I didn't do any studying. Obviously, throughout the semester, like I would do work and I would do the crucial things, the assignments, and make sure I get a good mark on those. But I came back and I had 48 hours to prepare for the exam. And I remember I had like 5 exams. I had 3 research projects, bunch of stuff in a span of like 7 days.
Yeah.
And this was going to be the final lap, my final semester, the final degree requirements for me to be able to graduate. And 48 hours, I'm studying, pump it out, boom, one's done, the next one was the next day. I'm studying morning to night, I'm up until 3 a.m., I'm like pumping it out, boom, 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 boom.
And like I think a couple of days before we have to leave, you were done.
I think the second or third last day before we
Yeah.
leave, I'm done. And now we're like, we got to figure out how to end the contract early because we
Oh my
committed to
God.
7 months, but we want to leave like 4
But that
months
was like
in.
literally a day before we had to leave.
Right. We learned so much from that experience, but you know, I had a lot of conflict on the phone with the
Dude,
landlord.
I remember us even struggling to find a flight back home.
Right. Well, what happened was Omicron was picking up, right? So we had our flights booked to Morocco, then going back to Canada, because we're going to go back for Christmas, see the family, and then decide where the next move's going to be. It was either going to be coming back to Spain, continuing the season, or going to Dubai and exploring that opportunity. And yeah, so our flight gets cancelled because of Morocco guidelines. Then we need to book a new flight. Then we go, right? We go to Canada. And did you go to Boston? No, we both go to Canada, right?
So yeah, what happened was like, we finally flights figured out. We get the contract all done. Big pain in the ass, but we go back home together, same flight. It worked out.
By the way, we didn't get the contract figured out.
we didn't.
Yeah.
But we got something in the works, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
Yeah.
And I was like working hard for money like the last day. And we went back to Canada through Portugal. And I was afraid because I was illegally staying in Spain. I was going through customs and I was like, shoot, if they catch me, like I'm banned. and I'm there just like looking at the guy straight in the face, the immigration officer.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me. He's like, "All right, stamp, go." You know, and luckily I didn't get into any trouble.
You made it.
No fee, no nothing, no ban, and we end up back in Montreal. Finally, I spent like 6 days in Ottawa, and then I went to Boston for New Year's.
Right. So we land in Montreal. My brother comes to pick us up. Get back to Ottawa. You go have your time in Boston.
Yeah.
So what happened was, came back and I'm so excited, right? I've been grinding for so many months. Finally finished school. I'm like, I get to see the family.
Yeah.
Family's so important to me. And it was special because my family from California was going to come. And although it was like another COVID wave, we were going to like see each other, be distanced, and like spend Christmas together, and just so excited for that time. And I remember everything went wrong. And what happened was, so we have this COVID situation come up, and then I get sick, and then it, goes throughout the family, and then we weren't able to see, like, all the families weren't able to see each other on Christmas. And then, that family member that's really sick, it impacted them too. And I just got serious.
Yeah.
It got serious because they needed to go to the hospital. And I think this is January of 2022.
Yeah.
This
Very
is
recent.
like just very recent.
Like yesterday, pretty much.
And I remember, so I had this opportunity to go to Dubai and continue the trial.
Yeah.
And I was so confident, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna sign with this team, it's gonna be the right next move. And then the situation happens where I get sick, but obviously, like, I'm a young, healthy guy. I was able to recover pretty quickly, but I then, it impacted my, this family member, then had to go to the hospital. Situation got worse and worse and worse. And it got to a point where we didn't know if they were going to make it.
Yeah.
So, obviously, big situation. That's more of a personal situation, so I'm not going to get into the details. But that time frame of, those couple of weeks, worst experience, emotions, feelings in my lifetime. Just recently. Very difficult to describe. And again, like a family, personal situation, not going to get into it. And still, it's like something that is just going to have a long-term effect. And there's nothing that can be done about it. But thank God there was a turning point where now, it's in recovery phase, and I'm so grateful that I made the decision to stay back and let go of that opportunity at the time and stay back and provide the support I can. And I just felt so sad.
Yeah.
Just so much sadness during that time, and it was a difficult month. I remember on the football side of things, I lost all motivation. Just an important part of the context too is I did the whole 365 days to sign a pro contract. I failed, right? So December 31st, 2021, I fail. January 1st, I decide I'm going to go at it for a second season.
Yeah.
So I extended for another 365 days, and I'm like, this year I know I can do it. And just 2 days after that, this whole situation happens, and everything became irrelevant.
Yeah.
So everything became irrelevant, and I'm just alone, and just not training. Motivation is down.
Considering you're in a country where there's no opportunity to train.
So to recap February, so I'm in Germany and Austria, 3-week time frame. I find out that I can't officially sign, and now I'm like, okay, what do I do? Because now I knew I needed to wait until the summer transfer window to sign with the team. I went and trained with Illertissen and FC Memmingen, two top clubs in the 4th division.
That's nice.
and it was really good being out there and competing at the level, especially at Memmingen. I did really well. Had a chat with the coach, and he was interested to stay in touch for the summer and like preseason invite. That opportunity was on the line, so I wanted to maximize the next 2-3 months until the summer, you know, when it was time to sign for a new team. And that's when I was like, Dubai, let's try Dubai. And so again, I'm making like,
I was banking on that one.
I know you really want to go to Dubai, right? You're in Boston, you're like, yo, when are you going to
When
Dubai?
can I book
Like,
my goddamn ticket, man?
yeah. So I'm like behind the scenes, I'm like working like crazy trying to make these connections for us to have the football opportunity there. And finally, Golf United is the club that gets back to me.
Yeah.
Tried a lot. I even tried them a bunch and they didn't get back to me at first, but finally got my way in. And they offered a trial. So I talked with Mo, and Mo said, yes, you can have a trial with us, come out. So make the commitment, go to Dubai. That's where you link up with me. And this is March. We're in May. So this is like
March 8th, you arrive in Dubai. March 9th, I get in Dubai. You come
like
pick me up.
2 months ago, right?
And this is all documented like
Yeah.
on the YouTube, but we're just giving our like perspectives on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any like visuals of this you want to see, just watch back the YouTube clips recently, or just go on the TikTok.
Yeah.
And just
There's
watch
a lot
what
of
happened.
coverage
Yeah.
and like
So we come here in March, and I have the trial with Golf United for, you know. By the way, I really want to point this out. Golf United, top like training facility. They train in the mornings, natural grass, short. Stephen Taylor is their coach, former Newcastle player, played in the Premier League.
Wow.
They have a couple of players who played like really high level in the UK. Coaching staff, very welcoming, professional. So they're doing things the right way. And I came into that environment and I'm like, wow, like
This is where I belong.
impressed me. This is UAE third division,
Yeah.
right? They just got promoted to the UAE second division, which is great. But I go there, I do the trial, I play well, and I get invited to keep training with the team. And all of this is like in the recent Road to Pro episode, so we don't need to get into details. But then I have the ankle injury, which again is documented in that video.
Yeah. But pretty much bad tackle.
Yeah.
Landed badly. There was a player like tackling you too, and just things didn't work out well.
Got into a bad tackle, and I'm just out. Just so disappointing, you know, like put in so much work, came to Dubai, the start went well, then I get into this tackle, now the ankle's injured, and it's just been so frustrating because I thought like it's only going to be a week and I'm back on the field and I can showcase myself more and be part of that team.
Yeah.
And then a week turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4. Next thing you know, it's like more of a grade 2 sprain. And there's like tearing of both the lateral and the medial, and then the posterior tibialis and the adductor pollicis longus, and like all the, there's the
pretty much
complexity.
means your ankle's fucked. Yeah. Simple words.
Yeah. So, look, right now it's close to being 100%. I've been saying that to myself in the last couple of weeks, but I can only tackle it with optimism and just focusing on what I can control, which is the rehab. But the last couple of weeks here in Dubai have just been a grind. It's just been a grind. You're trying to hold in your yawn. We're both on 2 hours of sleep.
It's 4 a.m. in the morning.
It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. It's just been a grind, trying to establish things to be able to live out here. I have secured the preseason invite with Golf United.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm really excited for that. They're promoted to the UAE second division. Higher competition, higher level.
Yeah.
I need to go out there, prove myself in July, August when the preseason starts to be confirmed. And only then I'm going to sign a contract. So nothing's confirmed yet, but so much work has been put in to create this opportunity, football-wise, and then the behind the scenes, which people don't always get to see, right? And that's the meetings we're having, the connections we're trying to make,
literally
the financial sacrifices that are being made.
That's the big behind the scenes right now, where it's just like, money doesn't just come out of nowhere. We have to find a way to fund this. So both of us are just grinding every single day. These last 4 weeks, no fun, just like going at it back to back to back to back, day and night, just going at it. Trying to make something
I will say, we do have a special ability to find enjoyment in the grind, and to to make fun of moments that other people would find anger in or sadness in or disappointment in, and we should acknowledge ourselves for that. Because although it's been a grind, we've found this ability to enjoy the process along the way, and that's special.
Yeah, it makes it so much more enjoyable than like hurtful and pain.
Right. And so look, we're almost 2 hours in. I think we've pretty much recapped the football journey side of things.
This is the full recap.
This is pretty much the full recap, and the big goal hasn't been achieved yet, which is signing a professional contract. And I'm at a stage in my life where I'm older than I've ever been at 23 years old, but I'm also actually more confident than I've ever been that I will sign a professional contract. I will get to the professional level, and I will make an impact. And I feel it. I know it's going to happen. It's going to be a grind, especially coming off of these injuries, coming off not playing for so long. You kill me. Yo, I'm flying. Like, we got to leave to the airport, and
we got to be up in 2 hours from now.
Got to be up in 2 hours. We have to film. I'm still going to do another podcast now. We have to film in the morning. Then we have to come back, probably have half an hour back at this place. Then I have to go. I have my flight. I'm flying to London.
I got to do a test.
Still got to finish packing. We have to move out of this place. Look, journey to pro. Crazy journey. It's been a roller coaster. A lot of ups, many more downs. There's more downs to come. But, you know, the thing that's beautiful with this journey is you have the privilege to go on what will most likely be the most difficult challenge that you get to take on. There's going to be so many unique setbacks and challenges that you have to go through that are going to give you this unique level of growth as an individual, that are going to give you empathy, that are going to give you drive, compassion, this special level of ambition, this commitment, this work ethic that you're not going to get out of anywhere else. So if you're on this journey, or if you're just watching and you want to improve yourself as an athlete, your fitness, you want to get to the next level. If you're a footballer, you want to get to the college level, university, semi-professional, professional. If you have the goal to get to the next level of your life, there's a lot in that. So acknowledge yourself for that. Understand that it is going to be a roller coaster. It is going to be a lot of ups and downs. And I just want to send you some love to keep going. Because I've been through those moments where you're down. And you look up and you don't see anything, and you look up higher and you still don't see anything, and you don't really know where to move forward. It's in moments like that where you just got to get the shovel and you just got to keep digging, and you got to keep digging. And we talked about keeping the car moving, right? Just keep the journey moving. If you keep the car moving down the road, you're going to be able to find new streets, new roads, new buildings, new people, and all those things are opportunities. But if you stay stationary, you're going to stay exactly where you are. So wherever you're at right now, just keep your journey moving forward. Honestly, I wish you the best. I'm so grateful to have you part of this journey. Thank you for listening in. It really does mean a lot. And I'm excited to go to the top with you, to keep growing this journey with you guys. If you enjoyed this, drop a like on the video. Comment down below if you want more podcasts, if you want like this behind the scenes stuff. I think it provides a unique angle to things. And I think we should end this because we have a lot more to do, yeah?
Yeah, but thanks for tuning in. I'm Daniel, filmmaker, creative director. This is, you already know, the host, Soheil Var.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Lovely.